What's up, everybody? Welcome to Couples Coverage. We are still a podcast. This is still a thing. I'm your host, Nicholas Moreano, and as always, I'm joined by my beautiful and amazing co-host, Stephanie Abonce. Babe, this is still a podcast.
I know, we're back. Dang, we really left. We ghosted everyone for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, so if you were like, man, is Couples Coverage done? Is it over with at episode 21? They never got to 22. I get it because I'm looking back at YouTube 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago? I thought it was like 3, or I thought it was 2 to 3 weeks.
That's my fault. This is really like me why we haven't been recording. I've just been literally everywhere, and we're gonna get to that in this podcast. But we're back. We're
back.
Here. We're gonna see how consistent we could be with this. I have one more like big work trip, and then after that, then there's no reason for us to be 4 weeks.
I know, and that's why I feel so bad because we keep saying we want to be consistent, and then like something happens, and it just makes it hard. It does make it hard.
Yeah, we're pressed for time, and like other things come up, and we want to do the podcast, but then again, life happens, right?
Yeah, life happens. And I don't know, should we continue to do it when the other one's not here? I know some of our friends are like, the other person who's there should still be doing it, even if it's with a guest or by themselves. So let us know if that's something that we should be doing.
Trying to come be a guest on the Couples Coverage podcast? Is that what you're trying? You're just saying an invite out to the people? I think that would be pretty cool. I'm just
saying because then we have no reason to not be consistent. Like if you're away for whatever reason, or if I'm away for whatever reason, it shouldn't stop us from uploading every Wednesday or Thursday like we want to.
It sounds pretty fun to me. Give some different perspectives, different people on. I think we've always wanted to do that, and we're going to find ways to eventually make that happen. So I'd be down for it if you're down.
Yeah, no, I would. And I do want to have people on, but I think we would just have to figure out logistics of it because like we said before, we do this in our office and we don't have like the most space in here because we already share it as it is.
Yeah.
And then with the podcast on top of that too, it's just not a lot of space in here, but I think that would be fun.
That would be fun. We'll have to figure that out and see
even
how we can make it happen.
Solo episodes. I'd be curious to see what you would talk about for an hour by yourself.
That would be, so if it's not sports, I feel like I might have a little bit of trouble. But again, all things that we can maybe look into at a later date. Before we kind of get into this podcast, though, and because we're back, you gotta make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel and also on Instagram, on TikTok. We're on, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so you can find us at Couples Coverage there, at Couples Coverage on YouTube. And yeah, we got those major things out of the way, but it's also Valentine's Day, baby, and we have some wine.
Okay, that's the thing. So we're back, and we're finally like it feels like we're getting settled, and I'm glad you're back for Valentine's Day. But we are recording on actual Valentine's Day because we have something planned for the weekend.
Exactly.
And so today we figured we'd just get on and actually record and make it fun. Make it a fun date.
we got some wine here. I'm actually gonna have you hold my glass real quick. Well, little Trader Joe's Love Olivia. I think we've actually had this one before.
Have we?
Yeah, it's the watermelon. Just something that probably tastes good, right? So
yeah.
We'll
I want someone to turn me into a wine snob.
A wine snob?
Like I want to know everything.
Don't
I want
you
to know
just have
about
to drink
the
a lot of
swishing.
wine to just be a wine snob? Like, so you just gotta drink more, I guess.
No, I want someone to teach me like what is all the swirling and the sniffing and like what makes a good wine, because I still feel like I just go for whatever is like sweet.
Yeah, I'm more into the
Into the couch it goes. It's okay. Drinks for
watermelon.
everyone.
Yeah. Cheers, baby.
Cheers. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And hold on.
Both should have been drinking at the same time, but yeah, no, see, that one's good.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know. Maybe when we get older, we'll like the more bitter, more, I don't know, expensive wine, but this is, it ain't expensive. It's like, what year is it? What's today? February 14th, 2024.
It was made this morning.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Good to go. So. Aren't you supposed to, like with this, isn't this what this like whole little stem is for? Like you don't want to put your hand in here to keep it warm?
That's another thing too. There's specific glasses for white wine and specific glasses for red wine, but I just don't know. I want someone to teach me. We need to do like a wine tasting.
A wine tasting? Yeah, I'd be down for that.
That'd be so fun. We've talked about it before, but
Yeah, if you were to drink more beer too, I would want to do like something like that. But I guess I'm gonna go do that with the guys. So we'll do the wine tasting. The boys will do the beer. I don't know, tour or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Sounds good.
I don't like this. I don't like. Are you supposed to like?
No,
Like
that sounds.
so like a chalice or something like medieval times, like raw.
That looks aggressive. No, you just.
But I guess you just did. I don't know. I kind of, even though it's making it warm, I kind of like this. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah,
works,
I don't know.
Right?
I don't. Yeah, whatever works. But I was gonna say today's episode is not really a Valentine's Day episode because, like I said, we're still kind of like getting back, and I feel like we have a lot to catch up on, and we're gonna celebrate over the weekend, so we don't have much to like, talk about when it comes to actual Valentine's Day. I guess that could be an episode, right?
I mean, it could. I mean, you were saying earlier today. Remember, like 3 years ago, what Valentine's Day looked like weather-wise. In our last episode of Couples Coverage, all about the weather. Mm-hmm. It was like snowing. It was a blizzard. We went to Fat Rosie's in Lincolnshire, and today it's sunny but still cold. But
yeah,
global warming is a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that could be a whole episode too, like Valentine. And again, there's a lot of episodes in the future coming up, so maybe we'll save it for another time.
I know you talked about Valentine's Day do's and don'ts, but
I mean, I can expose myself
no,
right now.
No,
okay.
We're not going to get into it.
Maybe on that next Valentine's Day episode. But no, let's get into it because we were kind of talking about it at the top of the show that, we haven't been consistent with this. It's because of my schedule. Like I have been these past 3 weeks in Frisco, Texas for 5 days, in Mobile, Alabama for another 3 days. Came back home for
the weekend.
Not even a full 3 days because it was Friday night, Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon leaving. And then went to Vegas for another 5 days, all doing football coverage, essentially. So I've been gone and been busy, and you've been here working and obviously have Brady here and kind of doing your own thing. So I'm kind of curious, like, obviously we'll get into like what I've been doing. And again, it's just football related, but what's it been like for you? Like these past, going back again, 4 weeks ago, we recorded that last episode. So it's been some time since, I've been here consistently, and now we'll start getting back into that routine for a little bit. But what's it been like? Yeah,
I know. Well, for me, it kind of in the beginning, because you were gone for 2 weeks straight, basically, right? Mm-hmm. Except when you came back for the weekend. But it kind of feels like you're at work because for the most part, most times you have long days anyways. Mm-hmm. So it kind of felt like you were at work except at night. And then except when I have to start taking out the trash and recycling, I'm like, oh, man.
Sucks.
Yeah. I was telling you, I was like, I don't know how people live alone, because to me, I was like, this is boring. Like, Of course, there's things that I can do to keep myself entertained, and I have Brady here. But in terms of like maintaining a household by yourself and, like they're not having someone to talk to throughout the day, because again, I work from home a lot. It was just like, wow, this is not it.
Did you find yourself going out more to, well, there's like coffee shops or things you kind of just do work, so you weren't just in the house or the apartment the entire time?
Yeah, I went on a lot of walks now that the weather's better. Mm-hmm. We live really close to a really nice path that's like 2 miles, so I would go do that sometimes in the evenings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably like 4 or 5ish. I would go for a walk. I would go maybe get like coffee from somewhere, or I got like a new place in Elmhurst that I really want to go back to now. I want to get acai bowls. I was reading a little bit, which now that you're back, I haven't picked it up since then. So
I come back and you start reading. Do I need to go again?
I need to get back to my reading. But yeah, I guess just trying to keep myself like entertained and still go out or like get out of the apartment when you're not here, because I know we go for walks and stuff together. But I think just keeping my routine. And also I think sometimes I want to get my workout in. When we're together at home, I want to get it in so that in the afternoons we have together, like at nights we could watch something. Mm-hmm. But when you weren't here, I was like, I'll go whenever. Like I can go later in the day. I can go, whenever. Yeah.
Make time for, I guess, me not being there, so you can go.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was kind of it. I was just a single mom for a week. I had Brady. I had Brady only for 1 week, and then your parents took him for the other week. But it's just nice having, even his company here is always nice.
No doubt. Yeah. You did go home a couple times or no, or not really? Like,
I think for the weekend, like I normally do
okay.
sometimes. Yeah.
So, okay. I mean, obviously you missed me. I missed you too, babe. Like throughout the time, right?
I didn't even say that.
No, I'm just kidding,
Oh, no, of course I missed you.
I think that, me being gone though, like it did give us a chance to kind of go back to what our relationship was like in the very beginning, where we had to obviously text more. Like we don't send each other good morning texts now because we wake up to each other, like you wake up next to each other, right? So like I'm pretty sure every morning we tried to like send those good morning messages and kind of update, throughout the day and stuff. So that was kind of nice. Just it reminded me of old times.
Yeah.
When, you were at your parents' house, I was at my parents' house, we would text, and obviously it wasn't as frequent because, I was busy or, just whatever the day looked like for both of us. But when we were texting, I'm like, oh, okay, this is like bringing me back to, our beginning of our relationship.
Right. And you know what? Like, I'm just like a sensitive person, so I knew you were busy, and so I try to keep texting to a minimal, because if I didn't get like a response back right away, it would make me sad. Like, this sucks. So I try to keep it to a minimal, like I know you were busy and it's a lot, obviously. So we'd catch up when we could, but yeah,
it was tough because, again, so going into what my weeks kind of looked like, it was a lot of watching football practices, watching players, interviewing players, networking, and just talking to different people, trying to get information on, everything related to the Bears. And for Vegas, which is where I was just recently at and just came back from, that was, it was crazy because the one day you're going into the convention center where everything's at. There's all these podcasts, rows and rows of podcasts, and there's a random Hall of Fame player. Or one day where I was kind of starstruck was where I saw The Rock.
I know, that's what I wanted to talk about.
And I'm not gonna lie, like that's the one person I think I've told you before. Like, if I were to see him, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably, because I'm pretty good with meeting people, but that would be the one guy. And there's no way I was gonna like introduce myself because he had like a group of people around him. Of course, he doesn't really need anybody. He's big, he's a big dude in himself, but he was going on a podcast. And just seeing him though, I mean, he is as big as he is on like camera. It was weird seeing him. It's almost like he wasn't real.
Yeah,
because
that's what
that's
it would
The
feel
Rock.
like. Yeah,
like The Rock, and it's like, I don't know. I had to process it a little bit, but when you're in that space in the Super Bowl media week, you just never know
who's gonna be there,
who you're gonna run into. I got a chance to talk to my favorite Bears player of all time, Devin Hester. So even that was a little bit of, in awe, I guess, when I was there, because that was the guy that really got me into football. But it was really cool being in that experience, and that was, again, very time consuming. So I know there were times where, I definitely wasn't texting back, and also Tuesday night.
We'll get into that.
Okay, we're not okay.
We're zooming through here because I want to like soak in the fact that you saw The Rock. That was so cool to me. And the thing is, I saw a post about him being in Vegas, and I almost sent it to you, but I was like, he's there for something else. Why would he be where you're at? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you tell me he's actually there. And I thought that was so cool. And I would be a little bit... Okay, here's the thing. Like, for some reason, I don't feel like I idolize anyone. Like, to me, even if there's a celebrity that I love, like, I know at the end of the day, they're human, they're imperfect, like, even if they do amazing things, they're still like a person, So I don't really idolize people, but I do get really nervous to talk to anyone that like is famous or has a high position. Like, I'd rather not know what your position is and I can just talk to you normally. But for some reason, knowing all the stuff, like if someone, for example, like if someone says, this is the president of blah, 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 I'm suddenly going to get nervous. But if I go into it not knowing, like everyone's just a person,
That makes sense. Kind of keep it anonymous in a sense, where you don't know the title of somebody.
Yeah.
But I do remember when he did join that podcast, like there was already a big group just watching, because you can watch them if you want. Like, there's a barrier, but that group of people just tripled.
Yeah.
Because it's like, in the background of their podcast, it's the Pat McAfee show. It's like The Rock. There's like images of The Rock coming up on the screen, and then he pops out, and it's just like, it's almost like it's a zoo. To be completely honest, there are people just watching in this huge group and just watching, again, this podcast happen live. So it was pretty cool. And it happened so quickly. So I saw him.
Yeah.
He walks behind like a place where you're not technically allowed to go. So once he went back there, it's like, see you, Rock. Adios. That was it. But I'm like, as soon as I went back to my coworkers, I'm like, I just saw The Rock. They're like, what? He's here? I'm like, yeah, he's on the Pat McAfee show. And we could see him from our setup right across the way. You could see him. So I'm like, yeah, that's the guy that I'd be starstruck from. So
yeah, I think that would be someone that would be like, what would I even say to him? Again, not like,
hey.
Hey, he seems so nice. Actually, someone from my company met him, and he sang the Moana song for his son.
Wow.
I thought that was so sweet. It's just because he's like such a nice guy, but also like I wouldn't know what to say to him. I don't have kids to be like, oh my gosh, I love you. You know what I mean?
You're awesome.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, hey, you're awesome.
It just reminds me when we went to go meet a player. They were doing a signing, and in the picture, I can't even look at the picture because I look so scared.
Should I put that in the video? I know exactly what you're talking about, but
I was like, please don't post it. You're like, too late.
Oh, it's posted. It's everywhere. Yeah, you can see it in your face. But again, it's only. Is that just because they're on TV? Like, because these people are on TV, and you meet them in person for like you said earlier, they're just people.
Right. They're just people to me, but I think just not knowing. I don't know, even to like anyone off the street, like if I don't know what to say to someone, I'm going to be nervous. If you take me somewhere where I don't know people, I'm going to be nervous a little bit. Mm-hmm. So for someone like that, where I know it's like, okay, I know you, you don't know me. What am I going to say to you? I don't know.
Well, okay. So not to like, I don't know. When people meet me,
oh my gosh.
They literally say like, I was kind of scared to go meet you. I'm like, why? I literally do it, but I think it's the just being in a screen, right? Like people who watch the Bears show that I'm on, you're watching it through a screen. It's not a physical. I'm not there.
That's true.
But like there were people in Vegas, and they had to slowly introduce themselves, but I think that's all. Honestly, that's all it is.
Yeah.
If you're on a screen, you're not there. It's like, oh wait, that's an actual person we're meeting for the first time, and now it's happening. Now we're here. But
yeah.
I literally think if we take that away, it's just like meeting anybody, right? But it is kind of funny though, and kind of crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's funny when you tell me that because like I just know you. You're just my boyfriend. Yeah, exactly. You do what you do, but that's why it's just sometimes funny to me.
I find it funny too, but now do we get into Tuesday or?
Yes. Okay. There was one night in Vegas.
I messed up.
Yeah, you did.
I got messed up. Actually, that's what it was. So Tuesday night was this media party night where all drinks and food were free and unlimited amounts of them. I overdid it big time, not knowing that I at the time was overdoing it. It's just like, here, I'll grab a drink for the group that we were with. So I was with all my coworkers and stuff. So grab a drink this station. There's a bunch of different stations, about 10 different mixed drinks you can get. But by the end of the night, they kind of started running out of alcohol, so it was all just shots. So yes, I got way too much in me that night, and then I forgot to do the most important thing when I'm out and away from you. It's just to text you I made it back to my hotel.
Yeah. And
I don't know what the late hours were like to the early mornings were, but
yeah, so this specific night, the last message I got from him was like, hey, I'm on my way to this the media party that I was telling you about. Okay, cool. And again, I'm not gonna blow up his phone or anything. I'm just gonna I know you're out there and you're meeting people and you're with your group and stuff. So it was fine, right? And even that night when I went to bed, I still hadn't heard from you, but I didn't, again, sometimes like I don't want to text you if I don't feel like I'm going to get a response right away, because then I was going to go to sleep sad or something. I don't know. So anyways, that morning when I woke up and I didn't have like a good night text from you, and I still didn't have a good morning text. So then I started to freak out a little bit, because I was like, okay, well, last I heard you were barely heading out. Like, did this guy make it to his hotel?
I did.
Yeah.
And also there's a time difference too.
Yeah, there was a time difference.
I think it was a 2-hour time difference. So you were 2 hours ahead of me, and I obviously 2 hours behind. So
yeah,
when I was just waking up at 9 a.m., being 1 hour late to where I was supposed to be, it was already 11 a.m. here in Chicago, or Central Time. So, I mean, you're going to be up by like 8, 9 at the latest. So, you know, I would expect that you were expecting to see something on your phone, seeing, you know, my name, again, any kind of text message.
Yeah. And this is when, like, I don't really have Twitter or X or whatever. I have it, but I never go on it. Like, I don't use it for anything. But that specific day I was, like, on there, I was telling you, I was, like, looking for signs of life. When's the last time this guy tweeted? Where's everyone at? Like, it was the first time that I felt like I was actually worried, because again, there was a time difference, so it was later here, and I knew that, but just seeing 11 o'clock here and knowing that you're a morning person and you're going to get up regardless of if you've had a long night, you're still going to be up early. So it was freaking me out a little bit. And I was like, I don't really know, like, the people out there. I don't know what's going on. And you have the group that you were with. I saw some of their tweets come up, and I was trying to see, I'm like, has anyone, like, posted anything with Nick? And I almost messaged one of your coworkers, like, can you guys please go check on him?
And then I think I called you, right? Or I texted and then called you.
Well, I called you like 5 times.
Oh yeah, yep. I saw the missed calls, but then I eventually called to let you know that I just drank too much, overslept, and I'm surprised I overslept, because like we were on Fremont Street. If you know anything about like Vegas, there's always something going on there. But music is constantly going. You can always hear something. So yeah, I was able to sleep through because I was drunk and in bed and still trying to gather myself that next morning. That next morning was terrible trying to work, but I do apologize for that. And I do not want that happening again, because not only for you and worrying, but also it kind of sucks the next day. It does suck the next day. Yeah. So not good. Not good. But I don't know. Like, I guess it wasn't even being like mad, because like you don't ever do that. Mm-hmm. It was more so just like being worried. But yeah, I think that was the first time I've ever blown up your phone. And it wasn't even too much. It wasn't that bad. No, I probably blew up. I'm sure we both blew up our phones, right? In the, beginning stages of dating, like, where you just send a bunch of text messages and I'm going to blow up your phone, something like that. Everyone does it. It's Valentine's Day. Show some love, right? I think before we get into our second part or last part of the show, whichever way you want to call it, we're Owen. If you watch couples coverage, and I know it's been a little time since the last time we had a podcast, you know that Owen's got our back here. We got here the Elite Protein Shake, and we also got the Double Shot 20 grams. Whatever you're looking for, whether it's more of a high protein shake, that's where you're going to go with the Elite, the 32 grams of protein. Or if you want something that also has protein, but it's going to have your caffeine in it, you can do a Double Shot, but 100% plant-based. And why I like it so much, you only get the ingredients that you actually need in your protein shakes. When you see some of those, you see all the extra little things and some words that you don't even understand. That's where you got to look to get probably an alternative. And Owen's a great one. And for me, I mean, I can't go wrong with, no nut buttercup. Dark chocolate's always one of my favorites. And we got the caramel macchiato here, so it's a really good one for the double shot. But if you're looking to try a new protein shake, check out Owen, liveowen.com, and use the promo code couples15 to save 15% off your first purchase. Babe, why do you like Owen?
I like Owen because I need a plant-based protein shake.
That's true, yeah.
And this one has a lot of different flavors, and I just love the quickness, or what would you the convenience of it.
Yeah.
Convenience of it.
So, yes, they have the pre-made shakes, but they also have powders as well. And, again, you can use that code couples15 to save 15% off your first order at liveowen.com. And when you do that, some of that comes back to us here at Couples Coverage. So, appreciate you, Owen. And we also appreciate, got to give a shout out to Bears Fit. It's the gym that, we were actually just there earlier this morning. I kind of almost forgot about that. It seems like this day has been a long
really
one.
long.
Yeah. But Bears Fit, actually right now they have an awesome promo. You can actually sign up for a membership for $39 a month. The first 10 people, to join will receive a free month of their awesome recovery services. We were using the Normatec, which kind of it's a great recovery thing because it gets the blood flowing. You put on these giant inflatable, I don't even know what to call them, like leg sleeves. And they have those. They have arm sleeves as well, but that's the Normatec. They also have the hydro massage, the cryotherapy. And if you need a tan, they have tanning as well. So you can check out Bears Fit in Vernon Hills to capitalize on that great offer. Again, it's $39 a month, and the first 10 people, you get that benefit of the recovery services, which you definitely need to check out. Boom.
Thanks, Bears Fit. Thanks, Owen.
Thank you. We'll be at Bears Fit probably tomorrow, too.
Yeah, we'll be at Bears Fit. Actually, we've been going to I've been taking you to the sculpt classes that I love there.
Yeah.
And, yeah, those are good, so I'm glad you like it, and I'm going to start taking you with me.
I'm hooked. Those sculpt classes are great. So, again, talking about the group classes, but that sculpt one, I mean, if you're looking to get stretched out but also sweat, like that is exactly what you need.
Yeah, no, they're
I'm glad
great.
you introduced me to that, though.
I know,
really
and
good.
I've been telling you for months.
You have? No, they're really good.
Yeah,
really good.
I love it. I love like our yoga days. I wish there were a little bit more
more of those classes,
more of that specific class, but yeah, they're all good there. All right, so now we can get into this past week. Now that we're back, we had a big Super Bowl party at your place, at your parents' place.
Yeah.
And that's always fun. That's like a tradition, right? You guys have always done it there?
We have, yeah. It's been, I mean, yeah, I can't remember a time where we weren't at my parents' house to just watch a Super Bowl. And as everyone knows, the Bears are never playing in it, so there's never me working. But yeah, it's always a good time. Actually,
I was going to say, because during the Super Bowl, I told you that as bad as I feel, I'm glad the Bears aren't in the Super Bowl because that means we wouldn't get to watch together.
That's true, yeah. And with given how they are, I don't think we have anything to worry about anytime soon. But yeah, I like it. And it's funny when it started off where everyone's trying to make bets. Mm-hmm. And I told everybody earlier that day, like, hey, I was just walking outside of our apartment complex. I think I was walking Brady, and I saw a nickel on the ground. I'm like, okay, a nickel. And initially I passed by it. Then I'm like, wait, let me go back. We're going to make bets later, and we're going to bet on heads or tails in the opening coin toss. I look down, it's heads. So I knew right then and there, I'm going to bet that the opening coin toss is going to be heads.
Yeah.
And I was telling everybody, and only I think one person at the party chose tails. Tails never fails. Well, it failed that time, and we got heads to win it. But like even like having that connected moment right there, like that's what Super Bowl parties are all about.
Yeah.
Like doing things like that. Obviously, you're watching the game, however it goes. It can obviously be entertaining, but you have all the finger snacks and things like that. But I don't know about you, but the commercials for maybe the past, couple years have not been as memorable. So is there anyone that stands out to you? I can only think of one right now.
No, I feel like the past, you know what? And that's the only reason I used to watch it, because before dating you, I didn't care like at all about who was playing. I didn't know. I remember the Bears were actually in the Super Bowl one year, and I remember watching it that year for that reason. But other than that, like I'm just watching for the commercials. But no, I feel like the past couple of years, I don't. Now that I know what's going on in the game, maybe that's why I haven't been paying attention as much to the commercials. But
Yeah.
no,
The one Doritos commercial with the old lady, remember?
oh, it had Jenna Ortega in it.
Yes, yeah, she was in it. That was pretty funny. Like they're
No.
trying to get the one Doritos bag, and these old ladies are doing
Yeah.
these extreme things to get. So that one actually stood out.
I wonder if certain
Oh, actually no, Temu. Temu stood out because
they had like 4 different commercials.
isn't it not like $1 million per like commercial or some crazy amount?
I don't know what it is, but I was surprised because Temu, like, you can get really inexpensive things on there. So the fact that they had like that much to spend on Super Bowl commercials is crazy to me.
I'm quickly looked. Whoa, never mind.
More than that?
So again, this is I don't know. I'm just looking it up. Roughly $7 million for 30 seconds of ad time. Holy crap, Temu! You just put out 21 million at least. I did download the app. I almost purchased something, but I didn't. I don't know.
And
I don't
now
know
they have your information.
I know they have my identity now. Temu, you win. So, yeah, no. But other than again that one Doritos commercial and obviously Temu that we're talking about, I'm not. Maybe I'm forgetting something obvious, but yeah. Like,
no, I remember there used to be some really good ones. The ones that would make you like cry.
Well, like, speaking of Doritos, remember like keep your hand off my mama, keep your hand off my. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
That or again another Doritos commercial where the guy's like digging into the Doritos bag and then the dude just sucks on his finger because he has all the cheese on it. He's like, cheese.
Oh, I think I do remember that actually too.
And then I think Budweiser always had the
The
dog,
cute dog
and the
ones.
horse. But yeah, it's been a while. I wonder maybe if those brands are just not seeing a big enough return on investment.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I was gonna say that. I wonder, because it's cool to say you have a Super Bowl commercial, but I wonder how much it actually.
What it does, like,
Yeah,
oh, am I
brings
really gonna
back-
go buy Budweiser? Am I really gonna go buy Doritos? I know that's how advertisements work,
But I
don't
wonder if
know.
it also brings in revenue for people going. I mean, people going back to watch the commercial.
True,
That
yeah,
alone is
yeah.
a like revenue for them. But I kind of feel like there were certain people who were showing their favorite commercial, and I don't remember seeing it. So I wonder if different networks or different streaming sites had different commercials that they were playing.
I don't know how that works because what if so? Let's say the game's a specific time. You put in, like, you have a commercial ready, but what if the game, I don't know, ends sooner than expect? I don't know. There's got to be. It's probably like an obvious answer, like, oh, they have designed TV timeouts and then they'll put the commercials in. I have no idea, but
Yeah.
I've always thought about that too. What if the game goes long? Does somebody who didn't get a
takes those-
commer-
yeah.
I don't know, but
That
again,
is
probably
interesting,
can be
actually.
Googled,
Yeah, no,
if
I
anything.
kind of want to look that up after this because now that you say it, I'm curious to know. But I remember there was one commercial people posted that was Kanye, and he was like, "Okay, I spent all this money getting the ad spot, but not enough to put into the commercial. So just go to my website." And he started spelling out like the Yeezy site, and I'm like, I don't remember seeing that at all. I remember seeing a different Kanye commercial, not that one.
Yeah, I saw that circulating on social media, but I don't remember seeing that during the Super Bowl. Probably didn't do a good enough job to get our attention. So
Well, I feel like that's also, of course, that's probably just a marketing like plan
True.
in itself.
yeah.
Just do it that way. But
So,
yeah,
obviously, the game, the ads, but halftime. Halftime's always a big thing for the Super Bowl. What did you think of the Usher and Friends performance? Because obviously you brought some Alicia Keys and other people, but what did you think of the Usher halftime?
I thought it for sure wasn't one of my favorites, and I think he did great. Like, I think the performance was great in itself, but it was just not one of my favorites. I was kind of surprised when Usher was the halftime performer because I was like, that seems a little bit random.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's been a while since Usher has, like, put anything out there. I don't even know if he's making new music or whatever, but I think my favorite part of the performance when he came out on the rollerblades and was doing, everything choreographed there, like that looked really cool. The man was putting in work because you saw the sweat dripping off him. Like, there's been so many memes with that going on.
Wait, the one where he's like, it's me leaving the house, making sure I have my keys in my phone.
That's hilarious, actually. Yeah, so again, it wasn't my favorite, and maybe it's because I'm not the biggest Usher fan. I don't there's not a lot.
He's got some good songs.
He does.
Just watching his halftime performance, I was like, I forgot about that song. It's a great song.
Yeah.
But just not one that was gonna make me like get up and like, oh, I love this, or go watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember there were some that I went back and watched a bunch, but
I mean, the Shakira J-Lo one for us. I know we were in Mexico watching that. That was awesome. Or even it would be 2 years ago now with Eminem and everybody that performed there.
Yeah, it was good. The Rihanna one was great.
Rihanna, yeah. So I think all of those ones that we just mentioned would be over Usher.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's always something that people look forward to. For me, he didn't deliver, but I'm sure for other people he did, and the memes of him sweating will live on through the internet. That's definitely going to happen.
Alicia Keys is great.
Yeah, I liked
that little note in the beginning.
But then she killed it the rest of the way, and I liked when I saw her out there. So, again, I don't know if I'm gonna go back and rewatch it, but.
Yeah, and I know some people loved it. I think part of the reason why I didn't love it as much was because I was really hoping that Justin Bieber would come out, and I think just having that expectation made everything else be like, oh, come on, he didn't come out.
And he was there. He was there in attendance. Also, and this is what I wanted to ask you, also there in attendance, of course, was Taylor Swift, watching her man, Travis Kelce, go out there and win another Super Bowl. There's been a lot of criticism of her, especially in the NFL world. I would say specifically men that are, for some reason, not confident in their own skin. They see Taylor Swift like, oh, get her off the screen. I don't want to see her. I'm here to watch football. Shut up. I just want to know, do you have a problem with Taylor Swift? I mean, obviously, do you have a problem with Taylor Swift? No, but she's been huge this year in the NFL. I think there's a whole new audience watching football because of her. Even some people at my parents' Super Bowl party, like, oh, when is Taylor gonna get on the screen? And she made, I know it was over 7.5 appearances because that was our little prop bet. But
did you make that one?
No, that was something that we did when we were at the Super Bowl in Vegas. We were asking people, does Taylor Swift appear more than 7.5 times? She did. I think it was around 9.
Oh,
but. Is that good, bad? How do you feel about Taylor Swift, though, kind of being interjected into the game? Because she is watching somebody that, she's in a relationship with. Is that a problem?
Is that a problem? No, I think I do feel like they tend to overdo it, and anything she does, they overanalyze, which to me sometimes gets really annoying because I'm like, leave the girl alone. She's there to support her boyfriend. And them looking into everything, I'm sure probably gets really annoying to her that the camera is just always on her and she's over with her friends just trying to have a good time. And I'm sure she doesn't even want it to be about her. She's there to support her boyfriend. She gets enough attention as it is with her own stuff that I'm sure she doesn't want to feel like she's taking attention away from her boyfriend because he's literally at the Super Bowl. But no, I don't think it doesn't bother me. If anything, I think it's cool, but I do feel like sometimes not her, I don't have a problem with her. I have a problem with the way that they always overanalyze everything about her. That part annoys me. I'm just leave her alone. Or yeah.
No, I agree with that. And I just, maybe it's because, I don't know, I see it all over Twitter and people are just like, oh my God, they showed her again. Yeah, her boyfriend just caught another pass. Who else? Who's going to be the maybe two people, her and his mom right now, that you're going to show right now in the stands celebrating or clapping? That's fine. And if you're that insecure to allow somebody like Taylor Swift to mess with your emotions because she appears for 8 seconds, not even 8 seconds, probably more 3 seconds on the television.
It's not taking away from the game.
No, they're going right back to the game. They're going to show her reaction and go right back.
Right.
then you're the problem, not Taylor Swift. So I have no issue with it. And obviously the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Happy ending, like everything that happens. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that relationship, where it goes from here. But they're on top of the world right now. They're on top of the world.
Yeah, I know. And for us, we were kind of rooting for 49ers just because I know like you love George Kittle and I don't know. I just wanted him to win because I remember seeing him or that clip of him like, I'm going to be back here. And I wanted him to win and get his happy ending, especially because like Chiefs just won. Come on.
Yeah, back-to-back champions.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't know. It's just always like you can be excited for the team. But I was thinking like how crazy is it that all these people who just started watching get to be so excited that their team won and they just started watching like 4 months ago. And people who've been waiting years or their whole lives, like that must be a little bit frustrating.
That's messed up. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. All you Swifties that went in and watched the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs win it this year.
Yeah,
you don't know what pain's like because
I'm
really still waiting for the Bears to win.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to ask you.
Ooh.
I thought you were gonna tell me about how people have been critiquing Travis Kelce a lot because he got in his coach's face and I don't want to call out my boss here, but we were at work the other day and she was like, I didn't like that. Like, how do I know he's not going to hit my girl one day if he gets that angry? And I was like,
Yeah, that definitely. I think Travis Kelce could have handled that a lot better. And what happened? Travis Kelce wasn't on the field for just an important play that happened in the game, and he came up to I think his 65-year-old head coach Andy Reid, and he put his arm out. He kind of got in, little. He
contact,
got in his face. Yeah, contact. There was contact made, and got him off balance, and he could have handled that better. There's no reason it should ever get to that extreme, but it is football. It is a very physical sport, and Travis, I think, if Travis can go back, I'm sure he would handle it better. I know on the new, why am I blanking on their podcast? Him and Jason Kelce, I think Jason was like, yeah, New Heights. He could have handled it better. So, yeah, it's not the right move for sure, but emotions, it's a Super Bowl, it's a big moment. And even Andy Reid afterwards was like, yeah, he just caught me off balance. That's all it was. So he didn't put more fuel to the fire on that moment. If anything, he diffused it.
He did. And he kind of says, hasn't he said before, like he likes when his players get passionate like that?
Yeah. So again, it's not right on Travis. He is an emotional player. That's what makes him so great too. But yeah, you don't want to be doing that to 65-year-old kind of heavier set guys. They're not the most coordinated people. So I get it.
I just know a lot of people went from like loving this guy to suddenly like, ew, like that was so inappropriate of him. Like, I don't like that. And like completely understandable. I would have gotten like the ick from that too, seeing that. But I think I would have gotten the ick more from him singing that song in the Vegas thing. Oh, yeah. I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah, that's Travis Kelce. You're going to get everything with him. But yeah, so you're seeing everything. That's the full version of Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Interesting. Don't come for us, Swifties. We're just
No. Yeah. Well, actually bring the views up, but actually bring the comments too. Who cares? Yeah.
That's what we've been up to. And I feel like now we're caught up again. And
I saw your little note, how I'm back here at the apartment there.
Yeah, I was going to throw that in.
Yeah, I mean, you could imagine it if you want. I was like looking because as I'm looking at you, I can also see like
my
your
notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how is it that you know that I'm here back in the apartment? What is it that
I was going to say when I hear him talking and I think someone's suddenly here and it's just him talking to himself, I'm like, oh, he's back.
Yeah, I'll just kind of like talk things out loud just to. I saw the eye roll. We got it on camera.
The only reason it bothers me here's the thing. Sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna go shower, and I'm in the shower, and I'm getting like dressed to whatever, come back out, and I hear talking all of a sudden, and I'm like, is someone here or who's he talking to? I'm like, oh, he's just talking to himself, but all of a sudden I'm in the bathroom like not wanting to come out because I think someone's suddenly here. That, or when I'm like working, trying to work, focus on something, and he's just like, how do I wait, what? And he's just like getting angry with himself.
And like the thing is, like, we're recording here. Our office space is literally to, I guess it would be, you're right, whatever. It's off to the side here, and so I'm making those comments. You're right here.
I almost sent you an email the other day.
An email?
We were both working, and you were just being so loud. And I almost sent you an email like, because we share an office space, I'd kindly ask you to keep it down over there.
Yep. No, that would have sent the message.
Yeah.
For sure.
Next time. It's in the drafts.
It's in the draft, yeah, for the next, probably after this, after.
I'm gonna put a notice on your desk. You're gonna get evicted.
Well, that could cause some complications with couples coverage and things like that. So
no, couples coverage can stay here.
Oh. Okay, well, I'll get my act together and maybe not talk out loud as much as I do. No problem. No problem.
You. But glad to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's good to be doing this podcast again. If you enjoy couples coverage and you think someone else would, send them the link to this video. Tell them to follow us at Couples Coverage on YouTube. You can subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on TikTok, Instagram. That would really help us out. We're still trying to grow this channel. Also help if we're more consistent with it. But that's on us. The other part's on you. Thank you for watching episode 22. And like you said, it's good to be back. And we'll be back next week as well. But until then, adios.
Bye.